Hello friends, we have already learned about nitric oxide and a few vasoactive peptides. Here we will continue with other vasoactive peptides. So far we have learned up to endothelins. Here we will continue with another vasoconstrictor peptide, neuropeptide Y. Neuropeptide Y is the main member of 36 amino acid peptides including neuropeptide Y, pancreatic polypeptide and peptide YY, out of which neuropeptide Y is a neurotransmitter, while pancreatic polypeptide and peptide YY work as hormones. Neuropeptide Y was first isolated from pig brain in 1982. It is localized in CNS as well as in PNS, mainly sympathetic nerves innervating blood vessels. Neuropeptide Y potentiates noradrenaline induced vasoconstriction postsynaptically, but presynaptically inhibits noradrenaline and acetylcholine release. It has also direct positive inotropic and chronotropic effect on heart, increases salt and water excretion by kidneys, and having a key role in food intake regulation, it strongly promotes feeding. There are 4 types of receptors for these peptides: Y1, Y2, Y4 and Y5. Y3 is not there because it is now considered as chemokine receptor. Neuropeptide Y has high affinity for Y1, 2 and 5 receptors, while Y4 receptors bind selectively with pancreatic polypeptide. Hence, Y4 receptors can be considered as pancreatic polypeptide receptors. All are G protein coupled receptors, wherein Y1 receptors are responsible for vasoconstriction, Y2 are present presynaptically, and Y5 receptors are involved in promoting food intake. Several receptor antagonists are under clinical trial, like Y1 receptor antagonist as antihypertensive and Y5 receptor antagonist as anti-obesity drugs, but none has been approved till date. Urotensin is a vasoconstrictor neuropeptide first identified in 1980 from the urophysis of teleost fish. Urophysis is a neurosecretory gland possessed by most fish in their tail and associated with spinal cord. This gland is similar to posterior pituitary of humans. Urotensin is located in cholinergic neurons of brainstem and spinal cord, plus kidney, heart and lungs. It strongly contracts arterial smooth muscle as well as depresses heart. Urotensin receptor is a cell surface G protein coupled receptor coupled to GQ protein. Although physiologically not important in regulation of blood pressure, urotensin increased levels are found in hypertension, congestive heart failure and diabetic kidney failure. But no drug is available at present affecting urotensin receptor. So far we have learned about vasoconstrictor peptides. Now turn of vasodilator peptides. First group is plasma kinins, which include bradykinin and kallidin. These are polypeptides generated from plasma protein kininogen with the help of enzyme kininogenase, commonly known as kallikrein. These processes are triggered by tissue injury, inflammation or allergic reactions. Let's understand synthesis and metabolism of kinins through a diagram. Inactive pre-kallikrein is first activated to kallikrein by Hegman factor or factor 12. This factor 12 itself is activated by tissue injury and contact with surfaces like collagen. And this process is facilitated by plasmin. Now, from high molecular weight kininogen, with the help of plasma kallikrein, bradykinin is synthesized, while kallidin can be synthesized from low molecular weight as well as high molecular weight kininogen by action of tissue kallikrein. Kallidin can also be converted to bradykinin by aminopeptidase. Then the kinins are rapidly degraded to inactive peptides by the enzyme kininase 2, commonly known as angiotensin converting enzyme. That is why ACE inhibitors like captopril increase levels of bradykinin. The another enzyme, kininase 1, metabolizes bradykinin to des-arginine bradykinin and kallidin to des-arginine kallidin, which are further degraded to inactive peptides. Significant actions of plasma kinins. Kinins are potent vasodilators, mainly of arterioles, through nitric oxide and prostacyclin release. They can release histamine and other mediators from mast cells. So, if injected intravenously, kinins can cause flushing, throbbing headache, and fall in blood pressure, while intradermal injections of kinins may cause wheal and flare. In smooth muscles, bradykinin induces typical slow contraction of intestine. That is why bradykinin is so named. Brady means slow and kinin means to move. Hence, bradykinin, slow contraction of intestinal smooth muscle. Kinins also cause marked bronchoconstriction, mainly in asthmatic patients. Kinins stimulate nociceptive afferent neurons and produce a burning sensation. If bradykinin is applied on blister base or so, it causes intense but transient pain and has been used in evaluation of analgesics. Kinins also increase release of catecholamines from adrenal medulla and increase permeability of blood-brain barrier if injected directly in brain. In kidneys, kinins increase renal blood flow, regulate microcirculation, and also increase salt and water excretion. In this regard, bradykinin receptor antagonist can reduce the effect of diuretics. Kinins have pathophysiological role in mediation of inflammation, pain, functional hyperemia, mainly in kidneys through local production of kinins, then in hereditary angioedema, a rare disease with complement C1 esterase inhibitor deficiency. Now, what is C1 esterase inhibitor? So, as we know that from high molecular weight kininogen, bradykinin is synthesized with the help of plasma kallikrein, which is inhibited by C1 esterase inhibitor, a protein present in plasma. And its deficiency in type 1 hereditary angioedema leads to increased levels of bradykinin, which causes angioedema. Note that lanadelumab, a recent monoclonal antibody targeting plasma kallikrein, can be used to prevent angioedema in such patients. The increased level of bradykinin is also responsible for ACE inhibitors induced Rykofan angioedema because the enzyme angiotensin converting enzyme is involved in degradation of bradykinin to inactive peptides. Kinins are also involved in ischemic preconditioning, which limits cardiac damage during myocardial infarction, and in closure of ductus arteriosus to adjust from fetal to neonatal circulation. There are two types of kinin receptors, B1 and B2. Both of the kinins, bradykinin and kallidin, are selective agonists for B2 receptors, while their des-arginine metabolites generated by action of kininase 1 are selective agonists of B1 receptors. B2 receptors are constitutive and responsible for majority of actions like vasodilatation by activating endothelial nitric oxide synthase, contraction of smooth muscles like intestine and bronchi, and for acute pain. While B1 receptors are induced by inflammation and cause generation of inducible nitric oxide synthase, increased prostaglandin synthesis, and are responsible for chronic pain. Bradykinin antagonist. Icatibant is a synthetic decapeptide bradykinin B2 receptor antagonist. You may remember it from BANT, B for Brady and ANT for antagonist, bradykinin antagonist. It is administered as subcutaneous injection and its duration is 6 hours. Icatibant effectively reverses swelling and other symptoms of hereditary angioedema, and currently it is the best treatment option for this condition. It is also more effective in reversing ACE inhibitor induced angioedema as compared to corticosteroids and antihistaminics, as this is not an allergic condition but rather due to increased bradykinin levels. Natriuretic peptides. These are a family of three vasodilator peptides, namely atrial, brain, and C-type natriuretic peptide. The all are having natriuretic plus vasodilator action. ANP is the major circulating natriuretic peptide. It is a 28 amino acid peptide produced mainly by atrial myocytes. Primary stimulus for ANP or BNP release is atrial and ventricular distension perceived by stretch receptors in case of sympathetic stimulation or renin angiotensin aldosterone system activity or blood volume expansion. So the raised plasma ANP level is found in case of congestive heart failure, kidney failure, primary aldosteronism, and in syndrome of inappropriate ADH secretion. The brain natriuretic peptide exists in two forms, either 32 or 26 amino acid peptide. It is produced mainly by ventricles and also by brain and other organs. The BNP is identical to ANP in regard to releasing stimuli and actions. However, the circulating level of BNP is lower compared to ANP. The C-type natriuretic peptide is having 22 amino acids. It is produced mainly by vascular endothelium and in CNS neurons. It is having very low circulating levels. The primary action of CNP is vasodilatation, while natriuresis or diuresis is mild. The physiological role of CNP is also unclear. The clearance of natriuretic peptides is interesting, which occurs both by enzymatically as well as by receptor mediated internalization and intracellular degradation. The enzyme involved in rapid clearance of natriuretic peptides is neutral endopeptidase, also known as neprilysin, which is present in kidney, lungs, and liver. The plasma half-life of all three natriuretic peptides is different depending on their receptor-mediated clearance. The half-life of ANP is short, about 2 to 5 minutes. Of BNP is longer, about 4 to 20 minutes, because of less marked receptor-mediated clearance, while that of CNP is shortest, even less than 2 minutes, due to more marked receptor-mediated removal. NP receptors. There are three subtypes: ANPA, B, and C. ANPA and B are transmembrane enzyme-linked receptors. As shown in figure, they have guanylyl cyclase activity at cytosolic domain, and the binding site for NPs is located at extracellular domain. After binding of natriuretic peptide, receptor dimerization occurs, followed by activation of guanylyl cyclase, which increases cyclic GMP. Cyclic GMP activates PKG, which leads to vascular smooth muscle relaxation and vasodilatation by inhibiting phosphorylation of myosin light chain kinase and also by inhibiting calcium influx. ANPA type of receptors have equal affinity for ANP and BNP, while B subtype has high affinity for CNP. ANPC receptors are located mostly on vascular endothelium, and they primarily serve as clearance receptors, and they have equal affinity for all three natriuretic peptides. Coming to actions of natriuretic peptides, they produce two major actions: vasodilatation, both arterio as well as venodilatation, and natriuresis diuresis. By venodilatation, they decrease central venous pressure and preload on the heart. And by arteriodilatation, they decrease systemic vascular resistance and afterload. All of these actions lead to fall in blood pressure. In addition, natriuretic peptides also decrease sympathetic flow centrally as well as by reducing release of noradrenaline from sympathetic nerve endings. This further potentiates their cardiovascular actions. On kidneys, NPs increase renal blood flow, increase glomerular filtration rate plus fraction, and decrease sodium reabsorption from proximal tubules, resulting in natriuresis diuresis. Further, they inhibit renin release from juxtaglomerular apparatus of kidney and thereby decrease angiotensin II and aldosterone levels, resulting in vasodilatation, natriuresis, and ultimately fall in blood pressure. So in general, we can say that natriuretic peptides act as a counter-regulatory system to renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system for maintaining blood pressure. Let's understand this through a diagram. ANP and BNP are released from atria and ventricle in response to cardiac distension perceived by stretch receptors. They act on kidneys to increase renal blood flow GFR and reduction in sodium ion reabsorption. They also decrease renin release, hence reduction in angiotensin II levels and no vasoconstriction. So vasodilatation in addition to their direct action will lead to fall in blood pressure. Further, due to reduced angiotensin II levels, aldosterone release will also be decreased and no salt or water retention occur, resulting in natriuresis diuresis and decreased blood volume and fall in blood pressure. It will also lead to reduction in cardiac distension. Moreover, NPs decrease sympathetic flow centrally and in sympathetic nerves. This will also enhance these actions. Clinical applications of natriuretic peptides. The recombinant form of brain natriuretic peptide is available known as neziretide, which is occasionally used in patients with severe congestive heart failure by administering as continuous IV infusion. But the drawbacks are high cost and risk of hypotension and renal injury. The another new group drug is neutral endopeptidase or neprilysin inhibitor sacubitril. It is orally active and being NEP inhibitor, it increases the blood levels of natriuretic peptides. Actually, it is a prodrug activated by esterase to sacubitrylate. Here, I can correlate this name with ACE inhibitors like enalapril, which is a prodrug and its active form is enalaprillate. Sacubitril can be combined with angiotensin receptor blockers like valsartan in patients with severe congestive heart failure. In fact, sacubitril-valsartan combination is found to be more effective and well tolerated compared to ACE inhibitor in patients with advanced heart failure. However, the downside is it is expensive. The next vasodilator is vasoactive intestinal peptide, shortly VIP. It is a 28 amino acid neuropeptide, first isolated from intestine and also present in CNS and ANS. Its half-life is very short, just 2 minutes. In its actions, it is a potent vasodilator. It causes smooth muscle relaxation, increases secretion of salt and water across the intestinal mucosa, and its overactivation leads to watery diarrhea. It also increases glycogenolysis in liver and have a role as immunomodulator. Two types of receptors have been identified for vasoactive intestinal peptide, namely VPAC1 and 2, and its agonists antagonists are under clinical trial. Substance P is a prominent member of three techikinins. The other two are neurokinin A and neurokinin B. In contrast to bradykinin, which causes slow contraction of smooth muscle, techikinins cause fast contraction of smooth muscle. Substance P is 11 amino acid neuropeptide detected first by von Euler and Gedam in 1931. The techikinin receptors are of three subtypes, NK1, 2 and 3. NK1 receptors are major subtypes and have high affinity for substance P. The actions of substance P include arteriodilation through release of nitric oxide by stimulating endothelial NK1 receptors. When substance P is injected intravenously, rapid fall in blood pressure occurs, while on subcutaneous injection, it produces red spot, wheal and flare. Tachykinins cause rapid and strong contraction of intestinal and bronchial smooth muscles. That's why the name tachykinin. They also increase secretion in intestinal mucosa and of saliva. Along with serotonin 5-HT3 and other receptors, NK1 receptors are present on chemoreceptor trigger zone and nucleus tractus solitarius, which are not protected by blood-brain barrier and participate in triggering nausea vomiting in response to various noxious stimuli. Hence, NK1 receptor antagonists can be used as antiemetic drugs. Substance P through NK1 receptors is also involved in pain perception. In fact, it is one of the first responders to various noxious stimuli. NK1 receptors are also expressed on certain tumor cells. Hence, their antagonists may have potential as anti-cancer drugs as well. Lastly, they are also present in certain CNS areas like hypothalamus, amygdala, etc., and involved in various behavior and mood changes like response to stress, anxiety, and depression. The approved NK1 receptor antagonists include aprepitant and its prodrug fosaprepitant as adjuvant antiemetic for cancer chemotherapy-induced nausea vomiting and post-operative nausea vomiting. Calcitonin gene-related peptide is a 37 amino acid neuropeptide co-located with calcitonin in thyroid C cells but mainly synthesized in neurons. It is a potent vasodilator acting by increasing cyclic AMP and not through nitric oxide release and cyclic GMP. CGRP is having unusual receptor with two parts required for its function, namely calcitonin receptor-like receptor and receptor activity modifying protein. Evidence shows that CGRP has a role in causation of migraine. Recently, erenumab, a CGRP receptor blocker fully human monoclonal antibody, is approved for prophylaxis of migraine. Erenumab is administered in the dose of 70 mg once a month by subcutaneous injection through a single-use pre-filled auto-injector. The last vasoactive peptide in our list is adrenomedulin, which is a 52 amino acid peptide of calcitonin family. Adrenomedulin was first obtained from human pheochromocytoma, but it is also present in normal adrenal medulla, anterior pituitary, hypothalamus, and other organs. Its significant actions include prolonged vasodilatation and thereby hypotension and reflex tachycardia plus natriuresis. Increased levels of adrenomedulin are found in acute myocardial infarction, systemic and pulmonary hypertension, congestive heart failure, and in renal failure, which denotes its protective role in these conditions. So with this, the topic is completed. For summary of this chapter, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.